Missions on Genshin Impact. I am still trying to get the lightning to stop on that island, and I do not want to look it up. I'd rather be pleasantly surprised. Also, hunting around for it's, part of the fun. To the objectives. Oh, first, gonna turn in these quick mission quests and get my adventures out into the field. There we go. Done and done. Oop, one more. Right there. And I guess we unlock this next one. Nice, I am level 54. Next one, I will unlock a new world level. Nice. Alright, let's get to the missions. Oh, wait. I think this is it. Maybe. That place isn't... I don't know what mission was blocking it, but it's there now, so let's go ahead and do it. Probably one of the actors within it was in another mission and needed to free them up. I'm guessing it was that one, I forget his name, but he was on the first island when we first came to Inazuma. And that quest was probably just sitting in there until I just saw it right then, so... Nice. Ah, dang it, I should have used the fan. The one downside of using equipment like that is that you gotta make sure it's equipped, and there's several other equipments that are just as useful, but, all of them are situational. Like, having food on hand when you're about to die is a game saver. But first I'm gonna do that. Looks like one of those chips. Oh no, wait, that's the thing I can't do until the storm stops. Never mind, I'll come back to that. Let's see, I'm looking for... Ah, that looks like it to me. Flame, water, and ice. And shock. I'm willing to do ice, but
I hear you've got a job.
I'm keeping Kazuha. Alright, let's get to it. Yeah, those delusion side effects are a bit too extreme. For those of you that don't know, it's equipment that increases power greatly but sacrifices the person's vitality and health. Whoop. I guess I gotta be more careful about traps. I wonder if I can hug this side. Yeah. I'm gonna disengage that thing, whatever it is. Whoop. They die too quickly for their one-liners.
So, is this what delusions are made from? So much crystal marrow. Now, where have we seen that before? Wait a second. Are they getting this from Riku? So the Conjure Commission are...
Lights out. One with nature. Clouds high. The birds come. The wind knows me.
That area denial is just so useful. I wonder why they they were using it for currency then if it was that useful.
Yikes! It looks dangerous. We'd better watch our step or we might get hit.
Wait a minute, did I miss a chest back there? One moment. Yeah, I did miss a chest back there. I ran right next to it too. I'm like, I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Time to go.
Yeah, that would do it. Yeah, that doesn't look healthy to stand in.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep my eyes open for another chest. Ow.
Yeah.
And doors open. Oop. Now it's open. Jumped the gun there a bit.
Intruder spotted! Do not let them repeat the work of the Harbinger. Never get out of here alive! Take that! Now this idiot must have a death wish. Don't be intimidated. Lord Harbinger will be here soon.
The birds come. The wind knows.
Teamwork is tricky. Shiver.
One with nature.
Whoop. Missed it completely.
This body belongs to us.
And done. Alright, let's see what's up next.
Managed to find this place. Congratulations.
Is it child again?
So, you're another Fatui Harbinger? Like Senora and Child?
Senora and Child. I didn't know you and my two least reliable colleagues were acquainted. I'm the Balladeer. Number 6 of the Fatui Harbingers. Delighted to meet you, oh mighty traveler.
A new face.
So many visitors today. To what do I owe the honor? Oh, so that's what this is about. I think you've got the wrong idea. I know how this looks, but I'm just here to follow orders. I'm obviously not the mastermind behind this. Aren't you supposed to be pretty tough? What are you waiting for? Go get them. You're getting all worked up over nothing. Didn't have you down as being so weak.
How can you say this is nothing?
How can you call it anything more? It's the way of the world. Human life is worthless. They were always going to die, with or without a delusion. At least having one gives them a chance to fulfill their ambitions. Do you have any idea how useful the Vision Hunt decree is to us? It took a lot of work to make it happen. Obviously, it was in our best interests. Good news is, our hard work is finally paying off. Generating conflict creates a big market for delusions. Now we just let the promise of power draw in the weak. For just a small price, they get the feeling of controlling the world. Trading their life for supreme power. Pretty good deal, don't you think?
So, the Fatui started the Vision Hunt decree? You've been behind it all along?
Saw that coming.
From the outside, Inazuma looks pretty impenetrable. But on the inside, it's a land of opportunity. With a little effort, we were able to break them down from within. Eternity stretches things out over a long time. But each moment within it becomes all the more fragile. Take your friend in the Resistance, for example. There's nothing you can do now. He's a lost cause. Just like a bubble on the water. Beautiful for a moment, then total destruction. The
He's
more it
monologuing
takes
too
from
much.
them, the more tightly they hold on to it. And the more incompetent they are, the more determined they are to fight it. It's such a farce. You have to see the funny side.
I think incompetence is not being applied properly here. I mean, his job was to defend his friends and gain power to that end. He did use an unreliable source, but that's not on him, that's on you.
Hey, calm down! No!
Paimon appears to be immune.
That's it. Just like that. Embrace the anger. Embrace it! The wrath of the gods fills his factory, and it feeds on your anger.
He better take the main character out because he just monologued his entire plan. He's gonna undermine all of his efforts just because he wanted to play the villain.
Repeat after me. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Okay, that's positive. Your brain seems relatively unscathed. This is good news.
Agreed.
It's just as well, really, with the amount of effort it took me to get you back here. Honestly, it was like you were glued to the ground back there.
Nico? Hyman's been wanting to ask you about something. How come you're acting so differently from when we first met you?
Am I? Maybe it's because I had the other Shrine Maidens leave. Anyway, I've always been like this. People show you whatever side of themselves they want you to see. I know this for a fact. Every side of me is the real me. People just like to define things in all sorts of arbitrary ways. This is a human society. At the moment, anyway. And I'm just doing as I please.
Hyman didn't quite follow.
Study humans a while longer, my little friend. You'll see what I mean.
I understand the point, but I feel like that's just an excuse to act outside your own norms. I mean, definitely do what you want to do so long as it's not hurting anyone, but why come up with an excuse for yourself when that kind of demeans the choice of making it? Perhaps I'm getting too philosophical. Let's get to it.
Right! Paimon was so focused on the Traveler that Paimon didn't notice what you did to get Scaramouche off our backs.
What if I told you it was a secret art from the Grand Narukami Shrine, and that I had the balladeer down on his knees, begging for mercy in an instant? Would you believe me?
Unlikely. Someone to manipulate the inner workings of the system to be so quickly felled is unlikely.
Well, maybe you should be worrying less about that, and more about how exactly you're going to thank me, no? Maybe some of your neural circuitry is less intact than I thought.
That's a backhanded way of asking for a compliment, but life-saving does allow a certain level of leeway.
I didn't mean you had to be so formal about it. I need your actions, not your words. The delusions. They're still on your mind, aren't they? You needn't worry. The leader of Watatsumi Island took some troops to clear the place out. She's also issued a strict ban on the use of delusions across the whole army. With their stronghold exposed, I doubt the balladeer is stubborn enough to try and retaliate now on his colleague's behalf. It would be more trouble than it's worth. I must say, I would relish the opportunity to watch the Fatui getting a taste of their own medicine. Well, anyway, that's Songonamiya Kokomi. She really outdid herself this time. I'd love to have another chat with her again in person. But alas, belief systems can be such a hindrance sometimes.
A hindrance? Would you really be saying that as the Gucci of the Grand Shrine?
Anyway, I'm only telling you this to stop you worrying so that you can focus on something I need you to do for me.
Balance in all things, Paimon. You get too restricted into one mindset, you lose the ability to empathize with objective differences. But, again, being philosophical, back to the point.
You've met her, right?
Yeah, I know who she's talking about.
I'm not talking about the puppet. I mean her. You've met her, yes?
Right, that weird interdimensional place.
Yes. The true Raiden Shogun, who meditates endlessly in the plane of Euthymia to preserve her being. Her name is A.
Are you saying that the one we met at the ceremony was just a puppet? And the real Raiden Shogun is the one that the Traveler met later? And does that mean that when the battlefield changed, so did the opponent?
I thought it was some kind of domain effect that pulled us into a momentary stop dimension, but perhaps, again, that might have just been me reading too much into it.
Because this is the Raiden Shogun's eternity. Before pursuing the eternity of her nation, she had to reach eternity for herself. Since the physical body will eventually turn to dust, she replaced hers with that of a puppet. And since the spirit is susceptible to erosion, she placed her consciousness inside her sword, where she remains in a meditative state, free from all disturbances.
So, that place that she carved open with her sword.
The plane of Euthymia. Essentially, the world inside her mind. A place that typically only allows her existence. She shuts herself off in her inner world, leaving all the affairs of the outside world to be dealt with by a puppet, who has a singular focus on the pursuit of eternity.
Sounds obsessive.
This is the approach A has come up with for realizing eternity.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand wanting to live forever, but to go about it in such a way, I feel like leaves you susceptible to manipulation, such as this situation.
You mean Morax? It's been a while since I last saw him. A surprising decision by Liyue's Archon. What a fascinating god he is.
It seems like the Raiden Shogun's approach solves the problem Zhongli was facing, though.
Perhaps. Or you could take the view that she's acting like a little child, throwing a temper tantrum and locking herself in her room. Don't you think? The grand notion of eternity she once held has long since given way to the eternity of her own definition. And ultimately, her eternity is defined by fear. The fear of loss.
That's actually a good point. Most of the bad decisions when it comes to both policies, politics, and trade are based off fear rather than mutual beneficial actions.
The truth is, we are on the same side. You want to save the people of Inazuma from the Vision Hunt decree. So do I. The only difference is that I'd rather like to save this nation and save A while we're at it. The key is that the plane of Euthymia represents A's inner world. Defeat her there, and you may well have the chance to shake the Raiden Shogun's will.
So this is your plan? To abolish the Vision Hunt decree? Not by talking her out of it, or through an armed resistance, but by, hopping inside the Raiden Shogun's inner world?
It's not that
Fast
auspicious.
learner. In short, this is the last chance to get Inazuma back on track. Otherwise, an eternity of darkness awaits.
The why me seems like a dumb question. I'm one of the few that's actually been inside her domain and came out alive, so I at least have the intelligence in which to respond and survive.
Don't you realize how special you are? Remember, the plane of Euthymia is a space where only she is allowed to exist. The fact that you could appear there tells us one crucial thing. That you have piqued her interest. Perhaps it's because she has never seen an individual who is so unpredictable in the face of eternity.
Has no one else ever been in there?
None. No one has seen the devotee of eternity since she shut herself away. In fact, no one even knows what it looks like in there. Your existence is more than just an opportunity. It's the very key to all of this. To that I say, well done, child. You did not disappoint me after all.
Wait, you're leaving? Where are you going?
Anti-Raiden Shogun training. I've prepared a special program just for you. Come along.
Yeah, it appears that only the protagonist has the ability to act within the zone and use the elemental ability. And since she's resistant to shock, perhaps being able to use my abilities with my other companions will provide the edge we need to win. Though, in my defense, I feel like I could have won even with just the protagonist, even though he's not the person I have primary.
Into the wind.
Kazuha could definitely win. He has so much dodge capability and area of denial, but you know, for cinematic purposes, having someone with a little less power behind their strikes seems more cinematic.
We're gonna do it here? And what's this mechanism for?
Think of it as a catalyst that can reproduce the Raiden Shogun's combat moves. I made it from my own memory, which means it should be perfectly accurate. Unless, of course, her skills have declined. It'll give you a chance to figure out her moves in advance and come up with a counter strategy. That should be a big help, don't you think? The aim is to try to not get hit by the attacks. Since you've escaped certain death at her hand once already, I presume this shouldn't be more than you can handle.
I should probably bring the protagonist out. Alrighty. Definitely Kazuha. Doesn't make sense to have too many shocks, so
Make sure to keep up.
Rosaria and let's see. Either Noelle or Barbara. Let's go with Noelle. Her ability
As you
to
wish.
save us when we're almost dead is invaluable. Oh, while I'm at it, let me optimize the protagonist. I don't know if his artifacts... Yeah, his artifacts are not fully upgraded. Speaking of which, maybe I should change his artifacts. Only thing is, I don't know what builds would be best for him. I use primarily his sword attacks when I'm with him, but if I'm still able to swap, would depend on that. Maybe for this event, I'll just continue leveling this stuff. Yeah. I'll try to get it up to the next marker, which I believe is level 12. Let's see. Just a bit more. And there we go, level 12. Just HP increase? Not ideal, but any upgrade is better than no upgrade, I guess.
Take this! Take this!
Oh, dang. Not much much telegraphing of those hits. Oh, I just gotta hit it. Oh, I gotta hit myself with those things.
I must leave no stone unturned.
I thought I was supposed to dodge them. That was a peculiar setup.
What a workout! So how come you know so much about the Raiden Shogun?
You mean me? Perhaps it's because I'm the Electro Archon's servant.
What?
Oof.
Like Devalin is to Barbados? Huh. Never would have guessed by looking at you.
It sounds like you'd be more persuaded if you saw me in my fox form.
Wait a minute, I think I know the fox. I've been seeing those peaceful animals roaming around. They are not scared of my position, and I've actually refrained from striking at them.
In your dreams.
Huh.
More curious than my appearance is the fact that she and I don't see each other anymore, wouldn't you say? A nation to last for all eternity is a dream that she and I both share. But I don't think that's the same thing as complete stasis. At some point, she started going down a path that became increasingly difficult for me to join her on. You know, A never said goodbye to me before she stepped into the plane of Euthymia. Perhaps it's just my wishful thinking, but I think she did this deliberately, as her way of keeping our friendship eternal. By neither saying goodbye nor seeing me again, our relationship will remain forever how it was. In her mind, at least.
This one is most true, definitely.
Since we've embarked on two very different paths to eternity, I can either continue to maintain the status quo or do whatever it takes to bring her back on track, regardless of the cost. I have chosen the latter because if stubbornly isolating herself in the plane of Euthymia is her idea of eternity, then my duty as her eternal servant is to drag her back out of her own head and into the real world.
Aw, Miko, you sound like a really great friend.
I'm only telling you this so you can properly understand my plan. Could you possibly spare the sentimentality for the time being? Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. Time for Anti-Raiden Shogun Training Phase 2.
There's a part 2?
Part 2 it is! But yeah, compassionate individuals are all about sentiment. Not that that's a bad thing, just, you know.
I'll catch up. Leave it all.
Here! One with nature.
As a good knight should. Someone needs assistance.
Whoa! Dang it.
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night into the wind.
Oh, cool it. Sorry about that. My dog was, I guess, shortening their nails? I don't know.
Here!
Lights out.
One with nature.
With Kazuha's gather up ability, that challenge wasn't too hard.
Finally done. How did we do?
You did quite admirably. I could see your determination and your hard work.
So, do you think we're ready to beat the Raiden Shogun now?
How do I put this? You're no match for her at all.
Wait, what? So all of this was a complete waste of time?
You are the most important part of the plan. I know what I'm doing. You don't think I'd leave you with no chance to win at all, do you? Speaking of, Traveler, what do you think of the Resistance Army's chances?
Their capability. Well, I mean, I haven't been fighting them, so I'm uncertain. But Kazuha is in the Resistance, so.
You're absolutely right. Perhaps they occasionally best the Shogun's army in open battle, but when they face the Raiden Shogun herself, considering even their visions have been taken from them and embedded in the statue, they're ultimately quite helpless.
You don't have to be so blunt. The Traveler's the captain of Swordfish too, you know.
I don't mean to belittle them. On the contrary. It is precisely because of their helplessness, because their visions have been taken from them, that their will is all the more precious. In short, if everything goes according to plan, they may yet prove to be helpful.
I mean, if losing your vision takes away your aspirations and everything tied to it, the fact that they still have the will to fight despite that is self-evident of them as a character, so I happen to agree with her assessment.
Oh, goodness. Is that the time? I have another guest to receive today. We can talk more back at the Grand Narukami Shrine.
All of a sudden, you're entertaining guests? Hyman's really struggling to understand how you work.
Alrighty. Next segment. That way. I'm still confident I could have beat her last time.
Okay, we can talk here. You asked me about the plan. In fact, I've been mulling it over for quite a long time. Before one makes a plan, what is the most important thing one must do?
Don't know. What is it?
You must understand the situation you are facing. The Vision Hunt Decree was obviously devised as a means of manipulating the Shogun. The ones behind it knowing full well her susceptibility as a puppet, with a single-minded focus on eternity.
Yep.
Yes. This is the strongest piece of evidence we have to go on. Now, we also know that every aspect of the Vision Hunt Decree's promulgation and execution has been enthusiastically spearheaded by the Tenryo Commission from the outset.
Ayaka was saying that every time they submitted a petition against the Vision Hunt Decree, the Tenryo and Kanjo commissions would veto it straight away with no negotiation.
Yep. That sounds like dogma to me.
Yes, it's all too clear that both the Tenryo and Kanjo commissions are in some form of collusion with the Fatui. Foolish humans, blinded by their greed. Thus, the current situation is that our Fatui antagonist is still at large, has the two rogue commissions wrapped around their finger, and is distributing delusions from the shadows. Unfortunately, given that said antagonist is under the protection of two commissions and the Raiden Shogun, we would be rather hard-pressed to track them down.
So, what should we do?
It will be easier for us to start with someone from Inazuma. So my plan is to incite rebellion in the Tenryo Commission.
Rebellion? What are you talking about? After everything you just said, it sounds like the Tenryo Commission has rebelled already.
When I say rebellion, I don't mean betraying the shogunate. I mean inciting a certain someone to betray the Tenryo Commission. If we manage to convince her, I'm quite sure we'll be able to get you another audience with the Raiden Shogun.
I think I know who it is. That individual we met in the main police office. I forget her name, but she's an electric archer, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll give you a clue. She's currently in charge of the Shogun's army. She visits the shrine at this time every month, and she is our guest today. She also appears to be standing right behind you.
Don't
I
move
knew
a
it.
muscle. You've got some nerve showing up here in the shrine when there's an active warrant for your arrest. Don't even think about trying anything. Surrender now. You're coming with me to headquarters. Seize him!
Affirmative.
Kujusara!
It seems that you're forgetting. This is the Grand Narukami Shrine. Use of force here is strictly forbidden. Before you proceed, which of you would like to face criminal charges for dishonoring the Shogun,
Ugh. Guji-ai, please tell me you are not sheltering a wanted criminal here.
We are just friends. I don't see what sheltering has to do with it. Tell your subordinates to leave. We have things to discuss.
All of you outside!
As you wish.
Guji-ai, I'm a little curious. Does it not also dishonor the Shogun to hide a wanted criminal at her grand shrine?
You're the same as ever, Kujo-sara. No one can match you when it comes to loyalty to the Shogun.
As a servant, loyalty to the Shogun is my duty. And as a warrior, I dedicate my life to following the way of the Shogun.
Even though she will one day seize your vision too?
The Vision Hunt Decree is the Shogun's chosen course, and I shall not question it.
Huh. It's tragic. Such wholehearted devotion rendered meaningless by circumstance. Have you been kept in the dark? Or are you the only one left in the light?
Lady Guji, I need you to be direct. Tell me exactly what you mean.
The Vision Hunt Decree is a trap. Part of a Fatui plot to bring Inazuma to its knees. And your masters, the Kujo clan of the Tenryou Commission, they're the ones keeping the truth from reaching the Shogun.
You're saying the Kujo clan betrayed the Shogunate?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Guji-ai, your allegation is not only dangerous, but ridiculous. The Tri-Commission has served the Shogun since ancient times, and remains absolutely loyal to this day. Ever since I was adopted by the Kujo clan, I have seen and heard nothing but pure devotion toward the Shogun. At every level of the Tenryou Commission, especially from the head of the clan, Kujo Takayuki. He reveres the Muso no Hitotachi more than anyone. My own respect for the Shogun pales in comparison to his. How could he ever even dream of acting against the Shogun?
3 days. Come back here in 3 days and I will show you the evidence. As a Guji, there's one thing I know very well. People believe whatever they want to believe. Some things you do not see, simply because you do not wish to look. And so, it falls to me to place the truth before your eyes, in all its ugliness.
3 days? I'll be here. But if I don't see any evidence, I will demand a formal apology for slandering the Kujo clan. Also, he will have to come with me.
Wonderful. Then I'll see you in 3 days. I look forward to it very much.
That was so scary! Paimon wasn't expecting to run into Kujusara here. But, Miko, you mentioned evidence of the Tenryou Commission's betrayal. Is that all in hand and good to go, or...
Why are you always asking so many questions? Of course not. I just had to say something because I clearly wasn't convincing her.
Not entirely unexpected.
As plans go, changing the deity's mind is a huge gamble to begin with. We can't expect to be in control of every last detail when we're facing off against a god, can we?
Okay, but what are we gonna do, though? We only have 3 days.
If we want to get our evidence, we're going to need some help. Now, Come with me. We must awaken the professional.
The professional. I have an idea of who that could be, but it's loose. Like, there's very little support for it, so... Let's see. Oh! I was not expecting this individual. I know that.
That toy Tanuki just turned into a human! What's going on? Hyman's never seen one of these before. Not a Tanuki. I'm a Muchina. I'm so tired. If I don't get enough sleep, it'll stunt my growth. Is this the professional you were talking about? She doesn't look very professional at all.
She is a member of the Shiumatsuban, a genuine, bona fide ninja.
Oh, wow! A ninja? So was that one of those legendary ninja transformation techniques? Anyway, what's the Shumatsuban?
It belongs to the Yashiro Commission, a secret unit under Kamisato Ayato. Now, Kamisato Ayato and the Yashiro Commission are neutral parties, so I have no right to give orders to the Shiumatsuban. However, convincing their most chronically lazy member to help us is well within my abilities. Here's what I need you to do. Go into town and find evidence of the Tenryo Commission's betrayal. It would not be appropriate for me to be seen there myself.
You make it sound so simple, but...
Oh, I thought you would have figured it out by now. All right then. I'll indulge you with a little more information. For a complete outsider, probing the inner workings of the Tenryo Commission is nigh on impossible. But since the three commissions work together to serve the Shogun, they have a close relationship. Someone from one of the other commissions might have an easier job of figuring out what they're up to.
Hide amongst the bureaucracy. I can see that working.
Now you're following me. The Shogun's army haven't given up on their search for you yet, but with the help of this Shiumatsuban ninja, I'm sure you'll be able to rendezvous with your friends. Don't forget, we're on a tight schedule here. Be sure to bring back the evidence in good time.
Huh. Well, if we got fast travel, it will be done in the best time possible.
Toma! Toma! You there? It's us! We're back!
When she said professional, I thought it was this dude, but I'm glad to be surprised.
What brings you here?
Uh-oh. Ah, there it goes.
Did you meet with the Resistance? How's the battle going? Is it safe for me to come out yet?
Not just yet. We saw people patrolling on our way here.
So, it's still not over. I guess you came here because you have something to discuss? I'll get someone to call for Miss Kamisato. Bear with me for 1 second.
I see. You have been through a lot since we last met. I understand. You need evidence of the Tenryou Commission's betrayal. Let me think. Now that you mention it, there is one thing that has always concerned me. The Shogun's army has been at war with the Resistance for a long time now, but not once has the Shogun ever inquired about it. I used to think that she simply didn't care, but looking at it now, perhaps the problem all along has been with the Tenryou Commission's reports to the Shogun. What do you mean? The Tenryou Commission presides over domestic military affairs. If they ever had any intention of concealing information in their reports, we would have no way of knowing. Meanwhile, the Shogun would incorrectly conclude that the Vision Hunt decree poses no threat and would stick to her decision. If we had access to their reports, it would confirm everything.
But as I recall, the only person authorized to access that kind of official documentation is Kujo Takayuki. It's heavily guarded too. Even with Sayu's help, swiping a document from under their noses is no easy task.
If only there was a way we could distract the guards just for long enough.
A distraction, you say?
Yoimiya's fireworks!
That's a very Toma-sounding suggestion. But it's a reasonable one. The statue of the omnipresent god is right by the Tenryou Commission. If someone set off fireworks near the statue, they certainly wouldn't ignore it. While they were preoccupied with that, Sayu could infiltrate the Tenryou Commission and take the report, as well as any other evidence she might find.
Great! It feels like I'm getting closer and closer to being a free man again.
Alrighty.
It feels like it's been an eternity since we last sat down and talked like this.
Yeah, not quite that long.
Well, it certainly felt like it to me. I've been looking forward to seeing you again every day since I got here. This tea house used to be my favorite hiding place, but now I've honestly lost track of how long it's been since I last set foot outside of here. Oh man, I want to go to the hot springs so badly.
Poor Toma.
Stir crazy.
Let's focus on the issue at hand. The sooner the Vision Hunt decree is abolished, the sooner Toma will be free. This was a reunion of sorts, but there's no time to catch up. We'll celebrate properly when it's all over.
Ooh, let's play the hot pot game again.
You're still thinking about that? The Tenryou Commission is heavily guarded. Be careful when you get near. Let's meet back here afterwards. Alright, first let's go to Hanamizaka to find Yoimiya.
Man, all this dissent, and the Shogun has no idea that there's this much unrest. I guess being reliant on any one organized body leaves yourself susceptible to getting imperfect information. Whoop. That's not a good sign. We might have to call it here. Yeah, I guess we'll call it here. It looks like my game froze. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Yeah, I'm getting an error report. We'll continue that story. Hopefully, let me just check my calendar. On Tuesday, the 14th. So, hope to see you all there, and have a good day. Bye.